Mango Cat 2023.
I'm a bomb detonating in your arms. I know you didn't see it from the start. No, look at my crown. I built it on my own. I promise it will outshine my shadows. And I'm falling, clouds closing in. Please hold me, please save me. Like them, yeah. But every time I cry, a garden blooms. I might not be like them, yeah. But every time I cry, an ocean sings. I might not be like them, yeah. But every time I cry, a garden blooms. I might not be like them, yeah. But every time I cry, an ocean sings.
Zerrissen von Leid, die Lippen fast weiß, Gesicht ist verweint, shit wie das Weiß, die Blicke nicht weich, eher Beton, überall Kissen verteilt. Doch du bist schön unter all dem, ich sehe dein Wesen nicht immer, doch gerade im Auge des Sturms, der dich erfasst, bist du zart, bist du weich, bist du fragil wie ne Blume im Schlamm. Du bist die Uhr, deine Wut ist der Sand und es rieselt, gib mir die Hand, das hier ist Intuition, kein Verstand. Du bist echt, wenn du mit dem Rücken zur Wand bist, keiner Blick durch im Eifer des Kampfes. Ich suchte nach Gold und ich fand es, du und ich, wir ergeben ein Ganzes.
I'm falling, closing in. Please hold me, please save. I might not be like them, but every time I cry, a garden blooms. I might not be like them, yeah. But every time I cry, an ocean sings. You know I'm not like them. But every time I cry, a garden blooms. You know I'm not like them. But every time I cry, an ocean sings. Yeah.
Sound of Pigeon Podcast.
Son of Pigeon Podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, Madeleine and Marcel.
Thank you.
That was beautiful performance. I'm very happy that I got it wrong because I thought you guys gonna bring already the songs ready.
Yeah.
But you made the performance right now, which is even better. So thank you for that. Yeah, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for the
Yeah.
invite.
Would you guys like to introduce yourself?
Yes.
Let's do that.
Ladies first.
Okay. Yeah, so my name is Madeleine, but my artist name is Libra. And yeah, I don't know, what should I say? I'm 26 years old. I'm Swedish. I just moved from Stockholm to Berlin, where we are right now. And yeah, music has always been a huge part of me. And just everything creative, like painting, dancing is also a huge part of my life. Writing, yeah.
Yeah, you're very creative. We've been met through Diana. She's a mutual friend of yours, and
Yeah.
she's also everywhere. She's working with a lot of bands.
Exactly.
And then she introduced you to me, like she made a connection, and I saw immediately that you're really into dancing and you have really good moves.
Thank you.
For me, dancing is I'm not so harmonious with dancing. It's not really my my way of expression. So I really appreciate good dancers. Yeah, nice, welcome. And what about you, Marcelo? Would you like to introduce yourself?
I am Marcel. This is my normal name. I'm 32, I think. I'm forgetting the numbers now.
No one cares about the age.
Yeah, that's
We're all
true.
16.
We are all 16. We are all 23
Yeah.
or 43. Do you know what 43 is?
No?
I think it's the answer to everything.
42.
42.
Oh, yeah.
I got it
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Fuck.
I wonder if they forgot the zero by accident or not.
Yeah, with 420. Okay, so I'm from Berlin, and I'm a social pedagogue as my normal day job, and as my passion, I'm a musician, producer, mixing, mastering, engineer. Also have a YouTube channel where I do beat making videos, and I rap. I'm pretty focused on music, but inside of music, I'm pretty widely. I have a wide range. I used to play the drums in rock bands. So I kind of feel that I just can't stop making music, no matter how I do it, but I can't stop. So I'm just gonna continue.
The groove is inside of you.
And let's see what
Yeah.
happens. I don't have any ambitions with it, but I mean I'm ambitious, of course, but I also can't stop making music.
Yeah, and you guys are really good together as well. You have
Thank you.
different projects, right? But you do it together, right? Those projects. So how does it
Exactly.
go?
So both of us have solo projects. Mine is called Libra, and his is called Marcello. But we also have this duo together that we started last year, called Mango Cat. And you're also in a hip hop crew clique.
Yeah, I'm also in another clique that has a little break right now, but we still exist. It's a German rap crew, kind of.
As a collective.
Yeah, it's like 4 people, and we play live, and we made a little EP last year.
What are you called?
90s clique.
90s click.
Yeah, because we are all born in the 90s. I'm the oldest, and then it ranges from 91, where I am, until 97 maybe. But Mango Cat, I think, had to be because we met over music. That was kind of obligatory that we made our own project. Because we just make a lot of music together. So we had to find a name that there couldn't be just features. You know, we had to find our own name for that because it was something else also.
Yes, the music that you have in Mango Cat is really good. I really love
Thank
it.
you.
The way it sounds, also the melody that you guys put into that, and everything is just it's very pleasant to listen to the music. I like it when it's easy to listen to the music. You know, when the sound is good, the production is good, the songwriting is good, the melody is fun, and you just to sit down and let the song come over. And you guys do it really well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, and what did we just heard? How does it called, that song that you just played for us?
It's called, or it's like switching between the name Melody 115 and Not Like Them.
It's not
It's-
released yet.
It's not released yet. Don't take it and copy it and put it up. No. But it's funny because I think when we just like made the draft, the like automatic name became Melody 115, I think, or something like
I
that.
made a beat because first when we met, we wanted to collab. We met over Instagram.
Yeah.
So I asked her, "Can you, I could send you a beat. You can do something." And then she said, okay, something like maybe a little bit R&B-ish or whatever. And then I sent just the beat that I called Melody 115 because 115 is the BPM.
Yeah,
I always
exactly.
say the BPM because, you know, for the project.
Yes, very important. Don't forget
Yeah.
to write the BPM, people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
True.
yeah, next day she sent the beat with beautifully recorded top line on it, and that's the song.
It went really fast. Yeah, I think it's cool. For me, at least, I feel often that it's either that everything comes to me instantly, everything really fast, like the lyrics, the text, or the lyrics and text is the same thing, but the melody, everything, or just it doesn't come like as automatic. And usually, if I'm really inspired by an artist or a producer or a certain beat like this one, then it all just comes very quickly to me, I would say. So that was really cool that this was the first thing we made. And
that's when you fall in love with each other? It was love at first note?
I mean, I kind of fell in love with the voice because we didn't know each other yet. We just heard each other on voice messages and on the song. And I really fell in love with the voice. I knew that I would have to work more with her.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't
good.
know that I need to be together with her at that point, but I just knew that we need to make music together.
yeah, and it was quite a strong experience for me. I find it hard mostly to like really click musically with other musicians, but
What
when
is
it
hard for you when you do that?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's just something that needs to just happen naturally.
Either it harmonizes or it's not.
Exactly. It's either harmonized or it's not. And with Marcel, I just when I heard the beat first, I was like, wow, okay, I'm really feeling this, like in my soul, you know. And then I recorded my vocals, and then he sent me back, I think, his rap on it, and I didn't understand the lyrics, but I just cried, actually.
Oh.
I really did. And
Me too. I cried when I heard her.
If anyone else cried when you heard Madeleine, leave us something, a comment.
exactly.
If you cried, we will send you some tissues.
If you cried, please raise your hand. That was a strong experience, actually. And then when I read the translation of the lyrics, I was like, oh shit, he's good at what he does. Yeah.
Yeah, Marcel, you're really good at what you're doing, definitely. You just released also a song I've seen on Instagram, like yesterday with the rapper.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah. That's one of the members of the 90s clique, Dario. He's a just good friend, music friend we met over a couple of years ago, and I knew him from a group on Facebook that we were in the same group 10 years ago, where you could post your rap songs on Facebook, and I knew his face from that group somehow. So I saw him on the street in Berlin, and I said, "Hey, aren't you that guy from the group?" So we got to know each other, and then we also found out that we harmonize really, really good musically. So we've been just releasing and just making music since then, really on a regular basis. And he puts a lot of effort also in the whole marketing promotion. He has that figured out.
That is important.
Yes.
Everyone listening to this.
Yeah, and the graphics, he does the graphics also. So he's also a very creative person, and that's an EP project of us. That just releases now, piece by piece, song by song. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the strategy today, to release some material.
Exactly.
Just single. So I think the idea behind it to be always in the attention of the people who are following or who are not following.
Exactly. Output.
Yeah, this is very important to grab the attention and somehow to retain it. And there are many tools for this to retain it because once you get the attention, if you don't catch the attention, so you can show them more the singles or more shows or whatever, then it's just gone and you need to look for the people again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The momentum you have to. If you build a momentum, I have that on my YouTube channel.
Yes.
I have been releasing videos every week for a couple of years. Just beat making with the MPC, and MPC is a sampler for all the people that don't know it.
You make tutorials.
Yeah, I make tutorials and just beat making videos and challenges and stuff, like make a beat in 10 minutes, for example, or stuff like that. And I found out I never made a break on my YouTube channel, so I never stopped for some time. So that momentum kind of just kept going and built up. But now in the last half year, I kind of, we moved and some stuff happened. And so I kind of had to make a break. And now I take a break. And now I'm getting back. And it's really, really hard for me to just, get that ball rolling again.
Yes.
It takes like maybe 5 videos to go to where I was,
That's the power of momentum, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's once you keep it going, then it's easier to maintain it, or even if you keep the same energy, you can really make it accelerate.
Exactly.
But once we stop, then it's so difficult to get the momentum going again.
And it's also for you, it's hard to start again. It's way harder, right? If you have done something for the last month every day and then you stop, and then it's harder to start again.
Yes, exactly. This is why the momentum is so important. I think there is a level that you reach where the threshold is, once you achieve this threshold, it just go exponentially up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think...
the same with money also.
With money, with everything,
with everything.
I think it's a law of the
Life.
universe.
Yeah.
It's about everything. It can also go down spiral as well. It can go up spiral. So it very depends what we are focusing on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely everything is like that. And I think most of the people, they just quit before they even achieve any kind of exponential growth.
Exactly, because they are not...
it's easy to quit.
Not,
it's much easier to quit than to keep going.
But is it?
How's that word? How's that word?
What?
If you can't wait for something?
For the marshmallow?
If you are...
you have a... bad patience.
Patience, impatient, thank you. Impatience.
Impatient.
We are all not English speakers.
No, we are not.
We are not. We are a collection of Germany, Sweden, and Israel.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
That's Berlin.
Yeah.
Berlin and yeah.
Yeah, keep the momentum, people. And we can also keep the momentum.
Yeah.
Because we're also limited in time. So I'm thinking how we do that. Would you like to do another song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's do that.
So what is the next song that we're going to listen to you guys playing live performance?
Which one
Is
was
it
it now
me?
again? I think
is
it's
it you?
It's the short one, the interlude.
It's a short one, okay. Then.
Yeah,
That's
it's yours.
Mine. That's mine. All right.
Let's
You want to
go.
say some words about it before we start?
Okay.
Sorry.
I wrote this song. It's not a song, it's just a part, actually, a verse. I wrote it last autumn when I was in a very, 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 very bad mood. I was very angry. Yeah. And I just, sometimes you have to, it's just a necessity. It's not like, oh, I'm going to sit down and write a song now. But it was the only thing that I could do in that moment. So it was, I didn't think about anything I said. I just wrote down everything. So it's a freestyle. It's not really a perfect song thing. It's just a little bit like a flex battle rap freestyle thing. Hey. Okay. Yeah. Komm mal auf den Beat, denn der Beat ist fresh. Komm mal an mit leerer Hand, habe nix auf Cash. Glaube nur die Hälfte von dem, was du mir erzählst. Bau die andere Hälfte ein in diesen Text. Miese Trap, in der ich gerade steck. Lieber echt, als immer Phrasenflex. 7 wechselhafte Keks sind in meinem Head und fragen sich, was jetzt? Ich bin ehrlich, weiß es nicht. Du bist nervig, scheiß auf dich. Du willst Beef, weiß Bier und weiß Wurst. Du kriegst den Vibe kurz in dein Gesicht. Peinlicher Shit, den ich kick nur manchmal. Reiße dich mit und dann bau ich ein Mahnmal. Weiß nicht wirklich, wer ich bin, doch ich geh davon aus, dass wer anderes seinen Plan hat. Komme an im Pyjama, kurzem Haar, kurzem Bart und Scheiß-Vibes. Verputze Bäume, später weißt du Bescheid, Junge, ich bin mitnichten ein Nice Guy. Sie kommt mit Lichtern und Weißwein. Ich hab einen Sitzen, verkeim mein Unterkiefer. Einen munteren Skifahrer, erst auf White Line, Jump, fällt auf Steißbein. Er wollte dreist sein, ey Junge, bleib cool und bestellt Pizza. Greller Scheiß Blitz ab, wir werden alle irgendwann sterben, er fährt nach Nizza. Ich frag mal die Kids da, ob sie einen brauchbaren Stift haben. Schreib diesen Text und Flitz ab, alles andere Schicksal.
Hey,
Okay.
Yes. Very
let's
cool.
go.
Thank you.
I love it when someone is really playing with their rhythm in rap. That's the whole purpose of rapping, right?
Yeah.
I think I kind of still play the drums using the words. I
Yeah.
think that's always been the most important for me, that the drum aspect, because I'm originally a drummer, so
Yes.
the rhythm, the flow has to be good.
And you both are rappers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. I think I've always been rapping by myself, mostly as like a stress therapy thing. Sometimes when I'm stressed, I've just automatically been rapping, strangely. And when I'm like in the shower also.
When did you discover it? What age?
I don't know, since I started making music, since I was maybe 12 or something. I just noticed, that I just rap, but it has mostly been for myself. And then I don't know, it's weird, but I think maybe I've felt like a lot of other women or girls feel, that maybe rapping is more like associated with being a guy than a girl. So yeah, I didn't really show it to publicly, but then actually since I met Marcel, he really encouraged me to like have the courage to also be a rapper, because I am. It's just that I need to like grow into those clothes, which I'm already wearing, but I need to grow into that. So I mostly see myself as a singer, but yeah, also a rapper. Yeah. And I love rapping. I think it's so cool, and it's so different to singing.
Yes. I think they complement each other really well. I love when there is a good rapper, but also they can sing really well.
Yeah.
Because it's so surprising, right? Usually it's either you know how to sing good, but not rap, or maybe you do rap really well, but then singing is a bit,
Yeah.
a bit limping.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're also a great singer.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And how does your musical journey begin at age of 12?
Oof. Very, it's gonna get a little bit emotional maybe, but I started making music because I had to, basically. I had a lot of anxiety. I've always struggled with a lot of anxiety. And so I was burnt out when I was 12 and felt really bad mentally. I had a lot of panic attacks and stuff. And then I had always like played the piano since I was little, and sang because I come from a very musical family. But then out of the darkness, or how you say it, came this huge passion and love for music. I started writing my songs out of necessity, I would say. And then it just didn't stop since then. So I just I just started writing songs, basically. On the piano, I started and singing to it. And then like maybe 7 years ago, I started producing digitally also.
Before that, you were doing analog productions?
No.
Having reels and tapes?
Actually not. That would be really cool to lie
You
and
come
say
from
like,
that era.
yes.
You think so? I think it would be a pain in the ass to do it.
But you can say, I know it all. I come from that era.
Yeah. Yeah. Those producers from the 80s, if they're still working today, they've seen everything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's weird that I actually didn't produce at
started.
all until I did it like in GarageBand.
I started
Yeah.
with a 4-track.
For a real 4-track?
Yeah, no, like with cassettes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
with the tapes.
Not those big tapes, of course, but normal tapes. Yeah,
Crazy.
I started with this.
It gets you so creative when you're so limited, right? When you have only
Exactly.
4 tracks.
Exactly. But I was maybe 14, and I just recorded maybe one a little bit like a guitar and like a little drum, but I did my first beat. I didn't know it. Now later I remembered I did something with that, but I recorded my first beat, but I wasn't into hip hop yet. So
and that was your first experience with production or with music in general, or before that you already knew how to play music?
No, I as a kid I always drummed on pots and pans, and my mom bought
Same
me
here.
a snare drum. Yeah, nice. It's classic, I would say, right? A lot of people.
Yeah,
start like that.
I didn't have really pots. I had a football, so I put the
Yeah.
football between my knees because it had good bounce.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I had a table which was like a corner, and on the edges I would put like papers. I would fold them,
Crazy.
and then I would put something to hold the papers, and there were my cymbals and my snare, and I would just imagine I have a
No.
kick drum.
That's great.
It's like a child engineer,
Yes.
music engineer.
Yeah, that's great. You got so creative. Yeah, and I just drummed and drummed and drummed away, and then with 11 we had our first band with
We started early
with my
music.
best friend Feli, who's now a musician named Mr. Jelly Roll. He plays with Black Paddy. They are a roots blues duo that are touring through Germany. I have to name drop him because with him everything started. We met in school and we both loved the Beatles, Chuck Berry, Jimi Hendrix. We hated everything, that was
Everything modern.
everything modern until the 80s. Like everything electric, everything electronic, we hated.
Depeche Mode.
Non-organic.
No. Everything. Just, it had to be like rock and roll.
Yeah.
Or, like real stuff, like we were kind of intolerant. And we played every week. We played with our band and we were kind of outsiders, because everyone else was listening to as-social German rap. And I was like, no, I hate rap.
To social German rap.
As-social.
As-social. Anti everything.
Yeah, anti-everything,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like in your...
Anarchistic.
Yeah. Yeah, just like asozial.
But
Yeah,
were you
social.
into modern rock, like Pearl Jam, Nirvana?
Yeah, Nirvana. Yeah, there was a time. Nirvana, loved it. Then Foo Fighters and Honey Mud Honey. Honey Mud. Mud Honey. Some of those grunge bands. And then, it opened up really slowly towards, with 18, I think, a friend of mine started to freestyle rap. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, I have to say. So that's when I started to get into Public Enemy. I felt like, okay, this is still real. This is not like superficial rap. This is real rap, with a meaning and, NWA, all those. And I kind of started with that old school, but very late, with 18 or something like that. And then I started freestyle rapping. And then I said, okay, I gotta make my own beat somehow. Bought my first MPC. Yeah, that's when it started.
This is so cool.
But the musical journey was longer than, exactly. Was longer. I think it started with really 11 or even with 6 when you have your first little beats on the.
Yeah, for me it started with the Backstreet Boys.
Oh,
That was-
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
That's so cool.
And it might sound funny, but I think they gave me the base on how to make proper productions. They had one of the best producers,
Yeah.
Max Martin, the legend. Yeah, you
He's-
come from the same country.
Yeah. He's great.
Is he a pride in Sweden? Is
Huge,
it well known?
huge pride. Yeah.
Oh, this is so cool.
We are all proud to be Swedes because of him.
Swedes also have something with songwriting.
Yeah.
Somehow the Swedes are better than the rest of the world at writing songs.
Yeah, we are one of the biggest music exporters in the whole world.
Yeah.
And like with the songwriters and producers too. So that's really cool.
Yeah, ABBA was the first band that really took it to a different level, I think, except the Beatles. But they were a bit different, I think, with the production. ABBA was really pop production.
Yeah.
They had the foundations to Michael Jackson, basically, I think.
Yeah. 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 No, they will always
think
be
the
a
Beatles,
classic.
The Beatles is a foundation to everything.
Yeah, the
I think
Beatles also,
ABBA.
yeah.
ABBA is later.
But they were different,
ABBA is
right?
better.
The Beatles and
came
ABBA.
later.
Yeah, this
Ice
is
I'm
better.
from Liverpool. Why do we have that discussion? Why not the Stones and the Beatles? But
the Stones. Yeah.
did anyone have the Beatles ABBA discussion? I think that's not a discussion really.
No, it's not. We're
not a
just
thing.
we're just teasing each other.
I was
I
afraid
love-
of the Beatles for a while.
You were afraid of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know those reverse messages of the
Oh,
Beatles.
the satanic.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
when-
in
when-
Illuminati.
When you hear
Helter
Paul is
Skelter.
dead, miss him, miss him, miss him. You know this one?
From Helter Skelter, you mean?
the fuck?
No.
Which song?
There is a whole conspiracy dedicated
I know.
to Paul McCartney, right?
Yeah, that he died.
What is the?
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I think he died. They claim that he died in 1965 or something like that, and that's because he was barefoot on the picture on Abbey Road. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but the funny thing is, he wrote in my opinion, his better songs after 65. So
It's this thing. Yeah. For those who don't know, the rumors, the conspiracy says that he died in a car accident or something like that. But because the Beatles were so big, they did not want it to say that Paul McCartney is dead. So they replaced him with the lookalike. And that's the conspiracy,
I love
basically.
it. I love it. It's so entertaining. I just
It
recently
is.
watched a YouTube video about that. But yeah,
It's like wrestling, the
It's like
WWF. You don't know if it's real
it's
or
like
not.
it's like
It's always entertaining with conspiracy
Yeah.
theories. I think I saw some video.
and
about-
obviously it's not real.
Yeah,
This one.
exactly. I saw some video about like that Beyonce regularly like gives satanic Illuminati messages in her songs if you reverse the song and put it in like a different key or something like that. And then it's like, whoa, oh my God. And people don't really hear this, but it's really clear if you do it. If you do these 12 steps.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, there was a website dedicated to songs in reverse with satanic messages.
In the 60s and
Oh,
70s,
God.
there were.
I think everywhere it
Yeah.
was. Also, one of them was Another One Bites the Dust.
Really?
So there is this part, Another One Bites the Dust. Another One Bites the Dust. Hey, hey. So if you play it backwards, you hear Freddie says, it's fun to smoke marijuana. It's fun to smoke marijuana.
Really?
Yeah.
But
It's a bit
that's
awkward,
not really
you know.
satanic, is it? It's just more
Um,
like a children's thing. It's like a,
Well-
we are funny.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't it satanic to smoke weed?
Is it satanic?
It's
to smoke
very
weed?
satanic
Yeah,
to
especially
smoke
in
weed.
Byron.
In Bayern, that's true.
It's so
In Bayern.
satanic you will get
It's
you go to
criminal.
jail.
A friend of mine, he had to go to. We were standing, three of us. We were standing in Munich, and one friend had a joint in his hand, and then securities came from all over the place. Came to us. We all three of us had to be in like wagons, and we were hold up there for the rest of the night, kind of, until the real police showed up, and my friend had to go to jail because of that
So
for
crazy.
one night. And that's Bavaria for you.
Yeah, I also had experience in
I mean,
Bavaria.
they have nice food.
They have nice food, nice mountains.
No, nothing against Bayern. I grew up there. I have to say something nice now.
It's against the police,
You know,
and the rules.
You know what's really nice about that? It has the most beautiful landscapes.
Yes.
Garmisch-Partenkirchen. It's just I don't know a more beautiful place than that.
They have
Just
been
a-
in Mainz-Spessart. It's like northern Bayern.
Mm.
It's really beautiful spot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's one of the most beautiful spaces. But then when you smoke a joint and the police comes, then you're fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah. This is, but them,
I'm a non-smoker, so I'm not worried.
but they want to legalize it in Germany.
Yeah,
They
I
said
think-
for 2 years already.
but I'm not really into that discussion because I'm not. I don't. You know, it's crazy. I'm not informed about that. I know that they want to do it, but I don't know when. Do you know when?
No, they said we're gonna do it, and then nothing is happening.
Nice.
But I think the moment it will happen, it will be a good opportunity to make some business.
Yeah, exactly.
That's for sure. And hopefully, you know, in Colorado, they made something really nice about it. So all the taxes, they went back to schools and back to education. And they made shitloads of money from taxation of weed because everyone uses it probably. And this is nice to bring something back to the community. Yeah, but let's see. Maybe it will never happen.
Dr. Green Thumb.
Yeah, but what will happen, we're going to have another song.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And this song is by Madeleine.
Yes.
What can you tell about the song? A few words before we start.
Now I'm a little bit confused about which one it is, but I think it's losing losing your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now I'm not confused anymore. What should I say? I think I made it last year. It's called Losing Your Mind. It's one of my favorite songs, actually, from myself, if I can say that. I made it quite quickly also. I think I produced basically the whole frame of the song in 1 or 2 days and wrote basically all the lyrics also in that time. And it's about... I was just in a place where I wanted to share like what it's like to be in my brain, basically, and it's a little bit, yeah, there is some humor in it, but it's also dark, I would say, and I wanted it to be very groovy. And it's called Losing Your Mind because I'm like encouraging the listener to just lose your mind and not be scared of that sometimes. Yeah, that's it.
Lose your minds, people.
Lose your minds, people.
Sorry, punk. Rose thorns in the backseat, buckle up. Down here, everybody's fucked up. Down here, calamity, listen to me, hands up. Ain't nobody gonna save you now, sorry, punk. Rose thorns in the backseat, buckle up. Down here, everybody's fucked up. Down here, everybody's fucked up, honey. I bet you're losing your mind right now. Oh, there you go, oh, there you go.
Doesn't it feel good? Okay.
You have been away, way too long. You cannot adapt anymore to the rhythm that we bounce to. It's a wonderland, winter wonderland, cold as fuck. It's a wonderstand that's got shit down everybody's hair. Aladdin, Jasmine, and the 7 dwarfs. Itchy, Scratchy, and Family Guy too. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Make a wish, let it come true. Fantasy, reality, nobody here gives a poo. Hands up, ain't nobody gonna save you now, sorry, punk. Rose thorns in the backseat, buckle up. Down here, everybody's fucked up. Down here, calamity, listen to me, hands up. Ain't nobody gonna save you now, sorry, punk. Rose thorns in the backseat, buckle up. Down here, everybody's fucked up. Down here, everybody's fucked up, honey. I bet you're losing your mind right now. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it? Yeah. Lose your mind to the beat right now. There you go. Oh, there you go. I bet you're losing your mind right now. Don't it
That was live. This is not studio recording. I mean, it is, but it's been played live. There is no auto-tuning to this.
That is real artistry.
Yes. Oh, good
That's,
stuff.
that's not playback.
Hell
No
no.
playback.
Hell no. Oh, thank you for this.
Thank you for listening.
Yes. Oh, it's incredible. And this is your production?
Yeah, I produced everything, wrote everything,
Very
all
good.
DIY.
Very good.
No copy paste stuff. But actually, I have to say the drums are from what's it called? What's his name now again? Knock, drums that knock.
Decap?
Yes, I used some of his drums that I cut
But
and changed.
that's
but
still your production.
it's still my
I
production.
mean,
But I have
you
to
don't
say.
have to say that.
So let's erase that.
Yeah.
I did everything.
No, I mean, Timbaland uses loops that people send him, and it's his production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like being very honest. Yeah. So that's the only thing I didn't do from scratch.
Yeah, from scratch, yeah. But it's still an art to know how to take something and sample it and use it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's some really good artists who really know to sample stuff, and it's
mean,
art by itself, in my
If
opinion.
it's out of that, if you would have to say that all the time, I would have to talk a lot about my beats, because
me
then I would
too.
have to say, okay, I took this from there, this loop, I tweaked it a little bit, I think you always make it your own somehow.
I just think it's so nice to, because I feel often if I listen to other artists and they say they're DIY and then maybe some loop or something they took from someone else, then I really love to know that if it's someone that I'm really inspired by, because so many times, like with Avicii, for example, I listened to some of his songs and I was like, oh my God, how the fuck did he do this? Like, and then it turns out maybe it was a plugin, like, which was like a high pass filter or something. And I was like, oh my God, it was before I started producing though. And I really thought that he like, I don't know, like changed the sound by himself somehow, like with his hands or something, or like but then it was a plugin. And I was like, okay, I wish I want to know. I think it's good with knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, and big shout out to Decap. He's the best sound designer out there. His drums, he has the sample packs, drums that knock, and everyone uses them.
Yeah,
like from Beyonce to Kendrick, like Pharrell, you hear them everywhere, and he's a great, humble person.
Yeah.
Decap.
He's really great. He's a good
drums
guy.
that knock.
Yeah, he's my mentor. He doesn't know it, but.
Oh yes, I have a lot of mentors who have no idea. Some of them not even alive. But it's good to have mentors.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Who else are your mentors?
Who else are my mentors? I would say
Kendrick.
Yeah, I thought about Kendrick first. Yeah, Kendrick is a huge inspiration for me. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, he's incredible.
I saw him live 2 times. We went last year to his
Mercedes-Benz.
to his tour to Berlin, and we were standing in the first row, and
Fucking
it was crazy.
First row.
Yeah,
First row.
It was really
Like 3-4 meters from him.
Wow. Was it for Mr. Moral? Album?
Yeah, Mr. Mora. Yeah, that's.
In the big
What a weird album.
I was so inspired by it too, because it took so long to be made, 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Since the last one, and then he came out with this one, and it was an experience for me. It's like a movie.
It was strange for me, this
Yeah.
album. How did you react the first time that you heard it?
I was like, with the first song, I listened to it all the way through. I even, took some time out of my day. I said, okay, and I'm gonna listen to this album.
We had a listening session together.
Yeah.
Very serious
Yeah.
one, where we listened through the whole album while
love
like
this.
holding our hands.
This is amazing, yes.
And I really felt, I was very emotional about, I think, some songs. I cried, I really liked the album. As though sonically I'm normally not in, I mean, the beats, the sonic choices are very interesting and very expressive. So it's not about a specific genre, in my opinion, in that album. It's just he wants to say certain stuff, and the music kind of just caters to that. The mix, everything caters just to the expression of his feelings or whatever he wants to express. So the music is kind of experimental sometimes and kind of strange and weird, but I love that because it has a context. I'm a fan, but I also understand if you are not a fan of
We
this
don't
album.
understand people who are not fans of Kendrick, actually.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah, I
want to
love
be your
him.
friend, so you know.
Yeah, we will find you and we'll kill you.
Kung Fu Kenny will
I love Kendrick. He really opened my mind. I think it was How to Pimp a Butterfly that I heard it, and the sonic of this album just blew me away.
Yeah.
And you hear it once, and you hear, at least for me, I heard that there were so many things that I could not put my hands on, so I had to listen again.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then
they're
the more I
between the
listen,
lines also.
yes, and it's a very complex album.
Exactly.
And also the way it's been produced, it's very inspiring for me as well. And also Them is incredible album that came
Yeah.
afterwards.
They went to South Africa for to Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah,
It's crazy. They just went there and then took all the influences they got from that country also. And
yeah, man. Everything about this album is amazing.
yeah, yeah.
And also, when I heard the last album, Mr. Moral, then I thought it's Kendrick Lamar. It must say something. And in the first place, I did not really understand this album, but I heard it again and again and again and again until it settled.
It's like a big piece of meat. You really have to chew it. I think it's not really, no joke. With like potatoes and sauce also.
That's
not only
a little
meat.
reference about our first meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good meeting before
Yeah.
that.
You
Yeah.
had a good
And
good
you
food.
made-
You
Yeah,
prepared really
it
good.
was meat meeting.
Yeah, meat meeting. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have the ice cream, by the way, the mango one.
Oh,
I
you were
thought
wondering.
about that before, really on our way here. I said to Marcel, I was like, I hope he still has the ice cream that I brought.
Yes, the
last
chocolate, no
time.
chance, but the mango is still.
It was
Mango
so
can.
expensive.
Yeah, we can maybe put it outside so it can be soft for us.
But really, I just have to say, like, I mean, Marcel is a bigger fan of Kendrick, but I've always really liked him. But I have to say, like, after listening to this last album, I have such a huge respect for him as an artist, because I think he is one of the absolute most honest artists that ever lived. I mean, I think he really was so transparent, like to a fault
This
in that
album,
album.
yeah.
So I got quite uncomfortable several times while listening to it, because you hear that it's just, he has nothing to hide.
What was
And-
the most uncomfortable moment that you experienced in this album?
That's a great question. You're a great interviewer because you ask hard questions.
Thank you very much.
Oh my god. Okay, so actually, yeah, the song where he's screaming against some woman who's screaming back at him.
Yes.
I don't remember the exact name, unfortunately.
We Stand Together, what's it called?
Yeah.
We cry together.
We
We
cried
cried
together.
together. I was like, okay, they're not acting. Like, they are really showing real anger towards each other. And it's not like, okay, let's make a song where we will act angry at each other. But it's like, it's real anger there. And that's how I want to be as an artist too. Like, no acting, but being your music. Yeah.
Yes.
And also just, I have to say a few more words about him. I listened to all the Dissect episodes. If you don't know Dissect yet, it's a Spotify format that dissects great albums of mostly hip-hop, but also pop albums. And they started with dissecting To Pimp a Butterfly. That was the first project.
How deep they go into that.
Really, really deep.
Yeah.
They are really giving every song at least a half an hour.
Nice.
So you can really... I spent maybe 50 hours listening to Dissect to all the Kendrick albums. It's really great because they find all the metaphors that I don't understand as a German. Because I'm sure I understand maybe 30% and I find it incredible. But if I would understand everything, that would just blow my mind.
Yes, there is this website Genius
Yeah.
with the lyrics,
Yeah.
and also there it made a lot of sense for me. There were a lot of words and way
Exactly.
they describe stuff that is really cultural, and it applies to this space, which I'm not familiar with. But now in Genius, you can really, you have a line, and then you click on it, and then on the side, everything opens
Exactly.
up about the song, and people can add. Sometimes the artists themselves they
Exactly.
give
interpretation.
The interpretation, some
Yeah.
explanation about it.
Yeah.
So this is really interesting.
Oh, it's
And
great.
this what really opened up for me with Kendrick. Just for
Exactly.
me to understand where is he coming from.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I can experience his life experiences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also that the fact that you can interpret it many ways
Yes.
is also just shows that his art is really art, is so rich. There's so much potential in it. You can just have one line and you can write a whole page about this line because it's so enriched with stuff. It's like Faust from Goethe.
Yeah, exactly.
I said it. I said it.
It
I
is.
just have to say a short addition to that also. I mean, okay, this is a completely different artist, but Doja Cat is a huge inspiration of mine. And I just want to say that, like, Genius, that page can also really be just for showing that some songs don't really have a super, like, Goethe's Faust details and thoughts behind all the lyrics, because I saw, like, I think Doja Cat was describing the lyrics for Moo, this Moo 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 Moo, the song she like blew up with, which she basically wrote like in a cow pajamas at home while eating fries, putting them in her nose and just like recording herself. And I thought that was so funny because through Genius, I think she just, people have been asking her like, how did you write that song? What did you think? Because it's her blowing up song. And she really uses a lot of humor there, and she's like, well, I didn't think so much, and that, I think that can also be really cool, that music doesn't need to be always super thought out. Also, there's space for so many different types of artists.
Yeah.
So she really inspires me in that way. Also, I know she made, I'm really like a fangirl now, but she made like a really undercover song that's only on YouTube, where she raps and sings about waffles, like only waffles. But
about what? Waffles with chocolate, waffles with ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like, fuck you if you like pancakes, because I love waffles. But she's very creative about how she raps about it. I just think that's genius in its own way.
Yeah, it's funny.
To add that. Yeah.
Who else is mentoring you except her?
I knew you were gonna ask this.
So did you prepare an answer already?
I've already been preparing. So her, not only because her artistry, but because of her personality, and because she's a dancer, in her background, like me too. And I have so many people I'm inspired by. Jhené Aiko, very inspired by her whole being. She inspires me on a spiritual level also.
Is she Swedish?
Jhené Aiko. No, she's American. She's together with Big Sean.
I don't know those
No?
names.
This is
You need
quite
to
niche.
look her up. Yeah.
Is it? What kind of style is it?
R&B, soul.
Alright.
Also hip hop, I would say. John Hopkins, an electronic / classical musician. He inspires me a lot. He doesn't sing or rap, but you really need to look him up. He's crazy. He's like a classically schooled pianist, I think, but his music is really like a mishmash, a melting pot between experimental electronica and classical music. I don't know, so many people. Lana Del Rey.
She's
When
also
I
crazy.
when I was a teenager, I was really obsessed with her. Yeah.
We talked about Rick Rubin when we met
Yeah.
last time. Yeah. What part Rick Rubin got in your lives?
He's okay.
Yeah. He knows to do
No,
some
no.
stuff.
I'm just kidding.
He's our grandfather.
No.
He is, right?
I think he is everyone's grandfather, kind of. He's abiding.
He's the reason why we sit here, actually.
Is he?
I
He's the
think
reason
so.
for the podcast.
Yeah, because if not Rick Rubin, you will not ever get into hip hop.
Yeah, maybe.
He made hip hop basically.
Yeah, with
he
the
made it
with the Beastie Boys and
Run DMC.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
Aerosmith.
And he also what I find really really great about him that he's just not focused on hip hop only. That he also helped
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. You know, Johnny Cash was at some point he was just playing small clubs.
Yeah.
When he was older, he was playing only small clubs, and then Rick Rubin, sat down with him, and they made an incredible album that helped Johnny Cash rise again, kind of.
Yes.
Late in his life. So.
And in the same time, when he was working with the Beastie Boys, he also was working with Slayer.
Yeah.
And Slayer is
Yeah.
a very heavy, fast
Yeah.
speed thrash metal band. One of the most evil bands, I think.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy how diverse is this
Exactly.
dude is.
And also he said he's meditating since he's 14 every day. And I think that inspires me most with him, I have to say, because
The meditation.
the whole spiritual aspect is really, really important, I find.
Do you practice your spirituality?
I have been searching a lot since 10 years maybe, just trying out different things, Zen meditation, and also other forms of Buddhism, and Krishnamurti, reading a lot, Eckhart Tolle. I listen to. I don't have one school or way that I follow. I have more I take aspects out of different kinds of methods or ways. For example, there's one guy who's a monk who does incredible YouTube videos. Swami Savapriyananda. He's from India, and he's a Hinduist, but it's a special form of Hinduism, Advaita Vedanta, as it's called. It's similar to Buddhism, I would say, to Tibetan Buddhism, but that goes very deep now. I could go forever, but that's boring for most
Next
people.
podcast.
No, that's not really boring,
But it's
go for it.
It kind of just, I think he's a mentor in a very profound way for me. Whenever something happened, like a real big crisis in my life, I always could rely on that again. That doesn't mean that I'm practicing every day, I'm not every day, but I have it in my back, in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good to have those teachers and mentors that are not really here physically, but we can have access to them every time we want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I realize when I have this with people that I appreciate and I can learn from, so I just grind videos of them as much as possible.
Exactly.
And it's like a song, And now if I play, let's say, Guns N' Roses, that I grew up on their music, I know everything about the songs. I know every little break, lyrics, everything. And I noticed it get in my subconscious. And then I started to notice I'm thinking like Axl Rose. So whatever is written in his lyrics, this is my perspective of the world.
Yeah.
And then I thought, what if I would listen to people who have mindset that is hard for me to even grasp because they have such a... They're, I don't know, in front of me in the game of life. And then I start to listen to them non-stop, and slowly, it's like putting seeds in my soil.
Yeah.
And then my thoughts just starts to anchor on those concepts that they bring or their energy.
Yeah.
And with time, it's effortless, but there is some effort a little bit, but it's mostly effortless. It's just about listening to them and keep on doing that. The consistency, as we spoke in the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah, I have to say, I just listened to Lex Friedman's podcast. Do you know?
Yeah, he's really cool.
He's so
He's
great.
training now Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So,
Yeah.
they have a fight together.
I
And
know.
They go the Coliseum or something like that.
I
Like, what the fuck?
I know. But I listened to him interviewing Rick Rubin
Oh, yes.
some days ago again. I listened to it twice now, I think. But I have to say, I really can relate to what you just said about like completely immersing yourself into an inspiring person, And I don't know why, but I'm really hooked on Lex Friedman actually right now. The way, I mean, he has his own podcast, which I really recommend. And he's been interviewing like Grimes and Elon Musk and Rick Rubin, Jordan Peterson, and Mark Zuckerberg was his latest now. But just the way he listens to people has really like made a big impact on me, like recently as a person. I think just the way he just listens and asks questions and is curious about basically everything. And that, now we're talking about the different things than music, but I think it has affected me also in the way I make music, just like listening more, really, really listening, and not just, talking or doing, but take a step back. He's not scared of being quiet, for example. I think a lot of people are really stressed out or nervous by being too quiet and want to talk all the time. Yeah.
Something I noticed in the podcast in the beginning. I want to show myself, and it feels different when I'm there doing it, but then when I listen, then it feels completely different, and I get a different perspective.
It's the ear, not the gear.
Yeah.
As a transition to mixing.
It's the ear, not the
because
gear.
You also mix your own stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think mixing is totally underrated as an art form. It's so beautiful. Sometimes I love it more than producing or making music. Like it is making music also.
Yeah.
It's listening. It's just great.
It's the way you present the music.
Exactly.
And the mix can change the whole song, basically.
Yeah. And you don't listen to the words. You just listen to the sonics. Sonically, you take the listener on a journey. And if you want to take his attention more towards this little cowbell on the right, then you do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe it's in favor of the song, but maybe not. And you choose that kind of, and it's just great. It's just.
What got you into mixing?
I have been mixing my own beats rather bad than good most of the time.
We must start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So my mixes were kind of shitty a couple of years ago, but they were okay. They were not bad, but they were not really the low end was not present. And at some point I wanted to sell beats, and I was like, my beats have to sound better. So I watched all those hundreds of tutorials, and then I got good in mixing beats, just instrumentals. And then at some point I also mixed my own voice, but at some point I was like, okay, I was always scared to mix vocals.
It's really hard. Vocal production is its own field.
So
what was scary for you about mixing voices?
I don't know, when I recorded my first songs, I recorded a lot of songs in a youth center where I worked. They had a Mac, and they had Logic, and Logic had some presets, male rap vocal presets. I always just put the preset on, and it sounded okay. So I never learned how to make it sound good, really. I just put the preset on. That's fine. So I don't know. That's why I was a little bit scared of the vocals always. So then I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I started really intentionally learning it and getting into it and mixing for my friends, for Dario. And then I just got better and better, and I just went into it like a rabbit hole.
Yeah, man.
And I came back out after 1 year. I don't know, like, oh, there was sunlight. I was completely, I don't know, consumed by mixing. Yeah.
It's incredible how much improvement someone can make in a year.
Zen and the Art of Mixing is a really good book.
Zen and the Art of Mixing. By who?
I don't know. I don't know the name, but he is the mixer of Ben Harper, amongst other people. It's a great book. It's not about the technicalities, but it's about the mindset.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very important. Technicality can make everything in every way, basically.
Exactly. It's not that hard to, if you watch hundreds of YouTube tutorials, you can get a balanced mix.
Yes.
Nice sounding mix. But to get the emotion through the mix, it doesn't take technicalities. It takes really creativity also.
Yes, and vision.
Vision, yeah, exactly.
What is your go-to when you mix? Like a go-to tool that
So-
you use?
I mix in Ableton Live. My go-to plugin, you mean? Or
Yeah, like go-to plugin or
Oh.
something that you put on
I
the
just-
processing way.
I love Sound Toys plugins. They make great creative plugins. I mean,
Do you have a specific plugin that you like to use it
This
vastly?
cassette plugin is really nice.
Yeah,
which I know you use a lot.
I love sketch cassettes. I love cassette RC20. That's more production.
It's emulations, right?
Yeah, like cassette and tape simulations. There's not one plugin I mean, there are maybe 20 plugins I always use. And I just really know how they sound like. And if I want to get a certain sound, I kind of know, okay, I have to put this plugin on in this, maybe even a preset. Sometimes I know it sounds like this.
Do you have maybe a special trick or a special way that you like to process certain things?
I think I'm still learning. I'm not perfect, of course not. I'm still learning, and I can get a lot better. But what I'm learning now is to really listen, to really be able to listen. What does 300 hertz sound like? Like I made my own little EQ exercise. So every day I would listen to the Kendrick album. Actually, I would just put the Kendrick album into Ableton, and then I would just blindfold or close my eyes and put an EQ boost at a certain frequency, random, and then I had to guess what frequency is boosted now, and then I would lower the Q,
Narrow it.
narrow it, and would lower the gain gradually over weeks and months, and I would be able to really learn how to listen. You know, like very very slight changes that a normal listener wouldn't hear.
Yes.
I could hear, and that's really training. And if I didn't do it for 2 weeks, I couldn't hear it anymore. So I would, it's like a constant thing that you have to. It's like training.
Yeah, it's like training.
And the same, even harder with compression. So
Oh yes.
just understand EQ and compression, and then you are halfway there, or even levels.
Yes.
Just
To
setting
listen
the
to
levels.
compression, that was my challenge.
Yeah, that's
Yes. You also mixing, Madeleine?
I mean, yeah, it's such a interesting topic for me because, I mean, I have been studying music production in Stockholm for 1 year, but I mean, mostly, I'm a very very intuitive producer. I would say an intuitive mixer as well. So I'm really not like a tech gear nerd girl. Sometimes I wish I was, but I just go after what feels right for me, after what I think sounds the best. And then I'm not actually super interested in like a lot of different plugins or different limiters or compressions or anything. I'm getting into it more and more, but I just feel like I met a lot of people also who maybe put too much effort and energy into the technical sides when I feel that maybe they should focus more on finding the right emotion, perhaps, or originality or their own sound. But yeah, mixing, I mean, just recently, just like a couple of years ago, I realized that, okay, shit, mixing is one separate field from mastering or from producing or from songwriting, because for me, everything just happens at the same time. I mix and produce and write my songs and lyrics and everything and play instruments at the same time, basically.
Yeah.
So
It's not so strange. A lot of people are doing that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, now through Marcel, I'm learning that I think it can be a big benefit if you isolate just mixing from everything else. So it's more like structured, but I just, I never did that. But I want to learn that too, or isolating mastering.
I think
from
for
mixing.
your own stuff, I feel like it's hard to do that sometimes. because for me it's the same. If I produce a song, then I just do everything at once, and most of the time the mix that I do right on the spot is the best mix for the song, because it's my first intuition, and I have the technical background, so I know how to achieve a certain sound. I will implement that in a very quick workflow. I think that's important, to have a quick workflow, to not get caught up with details, because then you lose the big picture and the flow just gets disrupted, the creative flow. I think that's the most important thing, the creative flow. And with my own songs, if I say, okay, this song is great, I'm gonna mix it separately, then the mix will be very, very nice and expensive sounding maybe, but it's not the vibe that I originally had. So sometimes I'm struggling with my, I'm just leaving it, the first mix. It's fine.
I think it was like this, the process of producing, writing, producing, and mixing and mastering, because that's how it used to be, right?
Exactly.
You would not have this PC in your house. You would just have to go to a studio, record it, and then they will send to someone. But with everything is mixed, it's when you do it on the way as you go with the song, I think it's even faster.
And I think it's just important to make sure that if you do everything yourself, you have to do it in a very fast manner, because after a couple of weeks of listening to the song, if you wrote the song, then you recorded the song, you have listened to it day and night, and then you will not have an objective ear for mixing anymore.
I had a teacher who talked all the time about speed of creativity, and I think that's really, really true. Like, run with the speed of creativity, because it's fast usually. Otherwise you will miss the train.
As well as writing some ideas. Sometimes, like in the most inappropriate times, like just before you want to go to bed.
Exactly.
Or when you are in bed already and you're halfway between going to sleep and dreamland, then the most epic ideas are coming.
I heard that. You told me that, but I've never had that. It's funny. I have marketing ideas then.
Marketing ideas.
I have like, how could I sell those beats like this? And then I can't stop thinking about it, like strategizing.
Like any idea that comes to us.
Exactly.
Enrique Rubin said really beautifully. It's the idea comes and you can choose if you want to act on it. But if you will not act on it, maybe the idea will come to someone else and they will act on it. And then you will see them acting on that and you will think to yourself, it was my idea as well. I thought about it. But those people really did it.
Acted on it,
It's like ideas have life of their own. I think they don't really belong to us, ideas.
That's the beautiful thing about inspiration. It's not only us, it's more kind of, it's not limited.
It's like information that's been downloaded at certain moments to us.
It's really strange sometimes.
You feel it also sometimes when you write something and then you hear it and you think, did I really do it?
Yeah.
It's really mine?
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's really trippy as fuck, actually.
Yeah. Shall we listen to the fourth song?
Yes. Is it
The next song.
the next song is mine then?
Yeah.
Pa, pa, pa. So this song is a... Sorry, I'm gonna tell...
Yeah, go for it.
I just... this song is actually a song of my crew, 90s Click. The official members of the 90s Click. Nika, she's a great rapper and singer in German. Then it's Jones, who's also a great rapper and an actor.
And a dad.
And a dad. and Dario, which I mentioned before, who's also a great rapper and a graphic designer too. So we have this crew and we have one song that I'm gonna play now. I'm just gonna play my part and the hook. Because it's a fun song. It's a very fun song.
Hell yeah.
It's called Pa,
And
Pa, Pa.
I have seen it live, and it was great. Really dope.
It's always the last song when we play live, because it just gives the energy, to say goodbye to everyone.
But we don't say goodbye yet.
Pa, pa, pa. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Pa, pa, pa. Pa, pa. That's how they say in Vienna. Pa, pa.
Bye, bye.
Okay. All right. Hey, yeah. Okay. 90s Klick. Berlin, ah. Fra, fra, fra.
Ey.
Okay, ey, ey. Stürmen die Bufes, mach pa, pa, pa.
Ey.
Ey, oh. Pa, pa, pa. Fra, 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 fra. Yeah. Pa, pa, pa. Yeah. Okay, okay. Pa, pa, pa. Stürme die Bufes, mach
Yeah.
Stepper ans Mic, barfuß und Turnschuhen, habe dope Lines am Start, wenn die Booth ruft. Rapper sind asozial wie ein Kuckuck, schreibt die letzte Line und macht das Buch zu, ey. Er fragt, was machst du so? Ich mach's warm wie mit Duso. Heize ein und beiß in den Beat, denn er riecht nach ner Pizza Prosciutto. Stepper ans Mic, mach was ich will, Freestyler im Zug und der Schaffner ist still. Ohne die Mucke versack ich und chill. Stell sie aus, komm vorbei und dann mach dir ein Bild. Stell's auf TikTok, warte bis TikTok, boom, unser Shit drop. Jeden Tag Hustle wie Rick Ross, heutiger Hip-Hop, Ballermann, Flip-Flop. Color am Mike, Jones, Fick uns D zu dem O, schick uns weg. Wir kommen wieder mit mindestens 6 dopen Tracks im Gepäck. Check, kurz mal das Mic gecheckt, ey, wie geht's weiter jetzt? Wir essen den Beat, kulinarische Kenner, sie wissen, man braucht dazu kein Besteck. No, kein Besteck.
Kein Besteck?
Kein Besteck. Nein, kein Besteck.
Kein Besteck.
Wirklich?
Du brauchst dazu kein Besteck.
Kein Besteck.
Oder warte mal, vielleicht doch eine Gabel. Kein Besteck. Nein. Gib mir die Gabel.
Eine
Okay.
Gabel.
Stürmen die Bufes, mach pa, pa, pa.
Ey.
Pa, pa, pa. Okay. Pa, pa, pa. Yeah. Stürmen die Bufes, mach pa, pa, pa.
Pa, pa, pa. Why there is no besteck, cutlery?
Because in the
What happened
last
there?
in the last line I say we eat up the whole beat, you know, and you don't need any knives and forks for it.
Eat with hands.
Yeah, exactly.
It with
and
your
then
ears.
and then in the bridge I'm like, no, you know, people are asking me, really, you don't need any fork, and I'm saying no, and then the end I'm not so sure anymore. I say, you know, give me the fork now. So it's quite banal, but it's just a fun track. It's very fun.
It sounds fun. And you mentioned Rick Ross. Rick Ross,
Ross, yeah.
Yeah, it's the rapper, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Who does everything by himself.
He's a
crazy dude.
crazy dude from Florida, I think.
Yeah, and he likes to talk about how epic he is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Exactly. Yeah, he influenced a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
I've never been really into him a lot, but I think he's dope. He has a great song with Anderson .Paak also. He's a good rapper. I think he was underrated. But I don't know much about him. So.
What I like about him that he have volume of work.
Yeah.
And this is interesting tactic.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting tactic to take. Because if you have, let's say, 1,000 songs
Mm-hmm.
and you get one stream for each song every day, then you have 1,000 streams a day.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then also it's the question, do you want to get quality or do you want to get quantity?
Do you mean Russ?
Russ.
Yeah, Russ.
Russ.
Yeah,
He's
It's someone
different.
else.
He's different, yeah.
I was
It's different.
thinking
Okay,
about Russ
I was
too.
talking about someone else then.
Yeah, but both sound the same.
Rick
Rick,
Ross.
Russ and Russ.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Russ is the self-made guy.
Yes.
He's crazy.
He's great, but he's not so. He's not really in the rap scene. He has his own fan base. He's not really acknowledged by the official rap scene in the US. Rick Ross is.
Oh, all
It's
right.
interesting. I don't know
I did not
why,
know
but
that.
it's like Russ has his own fan base. He has like millions of people, but
Yeah.
they're not really. I don't know why, but for some rappers, it's like that. They're not really relevant to the game. Quotation.
Yeah, and he still make tons of money. And he got
Exactly,
like
exactly.
platinum albums and he
Exactly.
sells a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
He has been very, very strategic about like where to, you know, gig, what songs to release. Yeah, he has a natural like business mindset, I think.
yes.
Listen to some.
Yeah, he
Interview.
sees music as business.
Yeah. So he like, I heard in some interview with him, yeah, partly that he's been focusing a lot on releasing music very frequently, which I think is really great. Not a lot of people are good at that. I'm trying to get better at that myself. But also like, just like he looks at his stats all the time, and he saw like, for example, in the beginning of his career, like he didn't have so many fans, but still he took every fan quite seriously. And if he saw that, oh, I have a lot of people listening to me in Italy, then like instantly he just tried to plan a gig there. And then like, oh, I don't know, like, okay, they seem to really like this type of music, and then instantly he makes another song that's similar to that. So he's very strategic.
So that's kind of, for me, it's kind of sometimes hard to balance, because there's the creativity on one hand, and it's like, I want to just do anything I want. I don't want to care about people listening to me. And then on the other side, that's the strategic thing.
Yeah.
And people with that are more likely to get famous.
Yeah,
I
if you
feel
plan
like
things, you
that's
already
kind of sad.
won.
That's why we're not famous
Yeah, exactly.
yet.
But are you planning? Are you into business as well?
Sorry?
We
Are
are
you-
planning to get famous, yes.
But you're planning, like you have some business ideas and you have some
We have
strategy.
We have a lot of
We have a
business
lot
ideas.
of those talks, actually.
I think we have too many ideas and not enough reality in our realistic, approaches
What's
to
the gap
handling them.
What's the gap?
between reality and what you imagine?
Good
we wanted to do a fermenting online shop now.
Like for making kimchi, for example. But that's not okay. And yeah, we thought
That's a fun
about
idea.
like connecting it to music somehow, because we find it really fun to make kimchi, for example. And because like there are some rappers I know in Berlin, I heard that like collaborated with iced tea companies, and stuff like that, like merch, but in an innovative way. So we have a lot of those ideas, and yeah, just different merch ideas, but
we don't have to.
we are both more like the visionary type than maybe the realist type, and so
We would need a manager who tells us, okay, this idea is crap. This idea is okay, maybe realistic.
Yeah.
But actually, we have some ideas, and for my business, I have some ideas with sample packs, for example. I have an email list going on where people can get a free sample pack, and then I get their email for it, and I can. But I'm not. That's an idea I have, and it's linked to my YouTube channel, so I'm kind of on that, but I'm still developing that. It's a process.
Yeah,
And you
I
also
have
have
constantly just different business ideas. I don't know why, but just constantly. Like, for example, I think I was like woken up in the night some night where I was just like, oh, like butter is it's very hard to like to put on your sandwich, for example, if it's cold, because most people, they just like real butter. It's really, really hard to put on your sandwich usually. And
It's an art form.
It's an art form. And I don't know why, but I had like this really strong like intuitive lightning in my head where I was like, why is there still not like a glue stick, but for butter, for real
stick?
that you put on the sandwich, like a glue stick, but with butter, so that you don't need to cut big chunks, and then it's really big and you can't really, like a glue stick. Like just like ideas like that, and I thought,
know what I was thinking about right now? A warmed, a preheated knife.
I also thought about it. Yeah.
At the moment, right? Because if you cut, then you can like cut really, and
Yeah. This is really nice. Like when I walked in the restaurants, we did it with ice
cut
cream.
that out.
we need to cut
too
this
good.
away.
It's too good.
For me, I just have chunks of butter. I don't like little layer. I like butter. I
Yeah.
like butter with my bread, or more to say bread with my butter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good idea. I think the thing is with businesses, it's easy to come with ideas, but what is difficult is the execution.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
really hard.
Because you need to do stuff.
Yeah,
And you need
laws
to
and
find
rules.
factories, to find where it can be cheaper, and then how to bring it in, how to sell it.
I think the
Yeah.
best would be a team where one is a visionary, one is a realist.
Yeah.
Because sometimes realists don't have good ideas.
Exactly.
If you have great ideas, then you maybe are not likely to execute them well, because you're just in that
Yes.
more ADHD mindset, like, wow, this is good, and this, but this is also great, and then you can just fire a lot of ideas, and then there's a person who says, who sorts them out, and says like, okay, this maybe could work.
I'm
Let's try
working
this.
on a dance project right now with a friend of mine, and I think it's so fun to work with her. Safra, if you're listening to this, cred to you, because and we talked exactly about this, and we realized that she is really like a realist, a pessimistic realist, and I'm like an optimistic idealist.
It's a good balance.
Yeah, and I know that just so many times I've come up with ideas, and she's just like, no, that's not good. And I love that. I think it's so great because in my head everything is just yes, and sometimes she's just like, no.
Like what? Which idea she said no to?
Just different. Like now we're working on a like dance website that we built together, and I have a lot of like things I want to add to the website, for example, but you need to limit yourself also to make it realistic. So she has turned down a lot of my ideas, and I think it's great that she's just like, no, that's not good. And I'm like, okay, good, great that you're honest.
Yeah, it's important to have honest people around us.
Yeah. Who
It's
also
not
really
easy.
believe in you and want to support you, but just are realistic also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
think it's
parents.
parents. And also the word realistic, it's a word that I don't like so much. Because
Yeah.
what is reality?
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
My parents are listening.
Yeah,
My dad listens to every episode, actually.
really. Yeah.
Shout out to Dad.
That's
Shout
so
out.
nice.
Unknowing.
What's his name?
David.
David.
King
Shout out to
David.
David
He,
for giving Ohad his life.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Dad, for giving me my life.
Precious.
And also, Mom.
and also,
Awesome.
yeah,
Of course.
and also the precious hours of time. I mean, you know, if you listen to a podcast, you're giving the time of your life away,
Yes.
and you know, I think that's also quite tremendous. I mean, like time
Yeah.
as a currency, kind of.
Yeah, time is a good currency. Yeah.
Applaud to that.
Yeah, upload to time.
Thank you for everyone listening,
Yeah, I
Yes.
hope
and
that
and
we
still is still listening after the babbles.
I hope we bring some value.
Babylon.
I don't know if people are listening all the way. Every time I ask,
Probably not.
if people are listening right now, if you're on Spotify, which probably you are, so you
Yeah.
can scroll down a little bit, and then you have a place where you can write a QA or comments or something. So if anyone now listens, go do that, please.
Yes.
And-
Whatever you want, you can write there, and then we'll give you a shout out on the next
Yes.
episode.
Yes, and please don't be afraid to reach out and just write anything, any thoughts or feedback or anything.
Yeah.
we
Or
appreciate
collaborations.
collaboration. We appreciate you.
A lot.
A lot. Now we got the
That's a little
AMS.
DJ
out.
Khaled. You're the best.
You loyal.
You know.
You smart. I like you.
Confident.
Okay,
So how are we with times? We're about to finish, right?
we have one song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have one song, and with this song, we're gonna finish. So right now, it's better to say goodbye from everyone who are listening until now, who already made such a beautiful comments on the Spotify / Instagram / Facebook / TikTok / YouTube. Now I'm also on YouTube.
Twitter.
I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
Twitter as well. Yeah. All over the place. Yeah.
How long have we talked now? Do we know that?
Forever.
Oh my god.
So what is the last song?
Okay. The last song. The project title right now that I sent to you is Slopet. That's funny because that's what the chorus sounds like for Marcel, who is not speaking Swedish. This is a Swedish song. But I think the real name will be Kretsloppet, not Slopet. And it means Kreislauf. I don't know.
Kreislauf.
Kreislauf. Running in circle.
Circle, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But also like the blood in your body is
yes.
in a
All
Kretslauf. What should I say shortly about that song? Also wrote it last year. It's to Marcel's beat. So I was really inspired by it. It's quite existential, maybe. Like it's just about like life and the Kreislauf of life. And
Funny that you say that in German.
yeah, it's strange.
only
My
thing you
brain
say
is
in
like sometimes my
Circle of
brain
life.
is like speaking German and no Swedish and English. So now I can't remember I just remember the German name. Okay, so yeah, it's basically about life and the kretslop of life. And I'm singing in Swedish for those who listen who are Swedish, that the bottom is the top and the top is the bottom, for example, because I think that everything in life it's really connected. It's a circle, and sometimes if you're on the top and on the highest high of your life, you can still be at the lowest bottom, and sometimes the lowest bottom in your life can consequently lead to the brightest light, for example.
First will be the last.
Yeah, so very maybe a little pretentious presentation, but that's like the vibe in the song.
Cool. And how can people find you?
Well, so if you're interested in MPC beat making tutorials, not only MPC, also Maschine, native instrument, and maybe in the future even a little bit Ableton. So beat making in general, if you're interested in that, I have a YouTube channel just under Marcello with 2R and 2L. You'll find it. And the same goes for Spotify and Instagram. It's Marcello _music and Mango Cat. I think Mango Cat is just Mango Cat, right?
On Instagram, our name is IM.MangoCat, I think. And on Spotify, Mango Cat. And my solo project is called Libra, Lybrah. Very complicated spelling, but yeah. Yeah, on Instagram, Libra _official. On Spotify, Libra. And yeah, Mango Cat, we have some music videos up.
Up and running on YouTube.
YouTube, yes.
Hell yes. Thank you very much, beautiful people. Thank you for coming here. You both are amazing.
You too.
And
You too.
thank you very much.
too.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so
It's our
much.
first
so
podcast, and it's a great vibe. with
So
you.
fun.
Thank you.
Hell
So
yes.
fun.
We will recommend it.
Yes. To Rick Rubin.
A lot of musicians will ask you to interview for you to interview them.
Yeah, bring them in.
Yeah.
I have a lot of space for them.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Are you
let's
ready?
go. Yes.
All right. Stay
in
tuned,
Swedish.
everybody, and ciao.
Fantasin är som toppen på berget, isberget. När du tittar djupare ser du ryggmärgen. Sjätte sinnet, sjunde sinnet, 8-9 liv. Jorden snurrar ut solen vid universum för alltid. Följer du stigen kanske du ser toppen. Botten, toppen, samma sak, kretsloppet. Botten, toppen, samma sak, kretsloppet. Slutet cykeln, don't stop, stop it. Jag har 12 S kvar i rockärmen medan ni tittar på TV och dataskärmen. Vem är aktiv, passiv, vem vinner? Jag är konstant aktiv så jag vinner. Den som distraheras på vägen försvinner. Timmen i timglaset det rinner. Det vänds upp och ner, om och om igen. Det är kretsloppet. Det är inget race, men alla springer. Jag tar det lugnt och ändå vinner. Kretsloppet. Okej. Det är inget race, men alla springer. Jag tar det lugnt och ändå vinner. Kretsloppet. Ja. Det är inget race, men alla springer. Jag tar det lugnt och ändå vinner. Kretsloppet. Ingen stress. Det är inget race, men alla springer. Jag tar det lugnt och ändå vinner.
Jorden snurrar runt solen. Du och jag snurrar runt jorden. Allting som du vill, allting som du drömt om finns här emellan oss. Jorden snurrar runt solen. Du och jag snurrar runt jorden. Allting som du vill, allting som du drömt